Hey folks, good evening. I'm up here. Hello. Hi, good to see you. What's up, Satellite Sun? What's up, Two Hey Good? What's up, Fury Fighter? What's up, Sacrificial Toes? What's up, everybody? Good evening. Hello, hi. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. I'm so happy to be here. It's so good to be here with all y'all. And with this new drink tonight, nothing groundbreaking, just something I'd never tried before. Vodka tonic. It is delicious. I think it's the tonic that's the common factor here, the thing that I really seem to enjoy. Oh, so good. So nice and fresh. I do love it so. And it's so nice to be here, man. And you know, it's funny, as each day as it went by was fine this week. It was, you know, I had stuff to do, things happened. It was days like any other, but now that I'm here at the very end of the week, it feels like it was a very long week. It felt like there was a lot going on that I'm just ready to be done with, and I am done. It's the weekend, and I don't have to think about it until Monday again. I imagine some people might have had today off. It's supposedly some sort of holiday, one of those federal US holidays where you're supposed to respect somebody, but I forget who specifically. It's either it's either workers or veterans or oh god, what are the three? Oh, it's Veterans Day? Okay. Well, good for them. Good job, veterans. Hope it was worth it. What's up, Dave Thula? Good to see you. What's up, PM Collector Boy? Good to see you too. Veterans Day. Yeah, Fury, you had COVID all week, huh? It's been long. Yeah, I bet it's been super long. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're kind of pulling out of it at this point. I remember when we had it, it was real bad, but only for like about a day, only for about like 2 days. And then after that, we were pretty well on the mend. I'm trying to remember. I know I streamed while I had it, but I forget how many days I had to take off for it. How about those trash test dummies? It's still rattling around in the back of my head. I still can't get over how they just yeet you backwards when you die. Like, it's not enough to just die. Like, you have to lose ground to it as well. Towards the end, your stomach now is rebelling. You even had to skip D&D. Ooh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. I really hope it wraps up for you soon. I know it's such a pain. What's up, Shadows? Good to see you tonight. Glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. Glad we can all sit here and relax and enjoy a nice, chill, different sort of Friday together. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited. I don't want to launch into the spiel just yet because I want as many people as possible to be here for it. At the same time, I don't want to wait too late either, because the sooner we get into it, the more games, in theory, we'll be able to play. Although that's kind of a total toss-up. What's up, Worst Elephant? Good to see you. I wish there was like a physics-based crash test dummies game. The game just revolving around yeeting yourself with ragdoll physics. I mean, there are some games like that, like Happy Room and like Disc Room or something. There are games, they tend to be 2D. Where it's just like ragdoll animations and you just do horrible things to dummies or clones or things. But I get it's not quite the same thing you're looking for. Maybe like that PS3 game that is literally just you launching someone out of a can, destroying as much stuff as possible. You know, really, we think back to the Trials series. I was a huge fan of the Trials series, and honestly, I think part of that was every time you wrecked, you would ragdoll off of your bike, and there were side events completely built around that. Like, my favorite side event for sure was one where you just had to crash as spectacularly as possible and see how much distance you could get off of your body. It was so much fun. Who is SaGa and why is she being romanced again? She's awfully popular, isn't she? Persisted across the decades somehow. No reprieve this week, and I hate it. Good news, I have stuff for decks coming, a new release, pre-con deck coming, maybe Pikachu wants it. Oh, that all sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds cute. Was Aisha picked randomly out of all the Atelier games? You have a particular affection for it? For some reason, I have a particular fondness for Sophie, even though Rise is the hotness. I'll discuss that in a minute when we go over these games. The short version is I've never played an Atelier game before, and Aisha was recommended to me as the place to start. Did you ever play Turbo Dismount? Because I was in India is basically just what you mean, stupid fun store game. I think I did. Like, same principle, right? Just going as hard as you can and then just crashing. I just realized my lights aren't cycling. My daughter was in here earlier doing some glamour shots, and I think she set the lighting to this specifically for her uses. I think I want waves tonight. I think that's what I was feeling. What's up, Bassy? Good to see you. We'll still say if you really like Trials, you should look at Leica. I remember watching you play some of that. That did look neat. I might take a peek at that at some point. Really need to try the Atelier games. That's what I've been telling myself for years at this point. I mean, and for a long time when the Atelier games first made it onto Steam, they did not get sales at all. Like they were pricey. They were a high buy-in. And finally, once they diversified the line a bit, they started getting more and more reasonable sales. And at some point, one of these past sales, it might have been last winter's sale or something, I was like, I'm doing it. I'm taking the plunge. And I picked up Aisha with the intent to stream her at some point. And perhaps tonight is that night. A Motorvania. I would play a Motorvania. Wasn't even going to get the precon deck. Show the playstyle is one you wanted a commander for. Unless you look at the top card of your deck with land put in your hand, not grave or back on the deck, commander does for each merfolk creature you control. Cool. I only kind of followed that, but it sounds neat. Trackmania is a series that gives you sort of similar vibes to Trials, actually, not ragdoll based. Trackmania is another series that I've always kind of meant to get into. It looks really cool. It looks like a really fun time, and I do love crazy ass racing games. Like the less grounded in reality a racing game is, the more likely I am to enjoy it. Is that the Beamdog Planescape or the OG one? It's the remake, remaster, enhanced edition, whatever the newest one is. I guess we should go ahead and talk about these. I guess I should go ahead and give my spiel. Yeah. I think this is a big enough crowd for the spiel. I think we can go ahead and get into this. So let me explain what's going on tonight, because it bears a little explaining to set some expectations, and also lay down some ground rules too, that I was thinking about. So here's the deal. For anyone who's unfamiliar, for anyone who doesn't remember what's going on tonight, I have decided that on Monday we are going to start an RPG. We're going to start another big RPG, and I've gone so far as to decide which one it is. I have already decided on an RPG. I think it'll be great. I think I'll definitely enjoy it. I'm sure people watching will enjoy it. Great, fine, wonderful, settled, right? Well, I needed something to do this Friday, something to do tonight, right? And I had this thought. There's a lot of RPGs that we could actually play. There's one, of course, that I know I want to do. But what about these other ones? What about the other ones that people have requested, or that I've talked about playing before, or just popped into my head randomly? Well, why don't we do a special new kind of wheel night to run through a little bit of as many of them as possible and see if any of them would be worth doing a full playthrough of. So, main thing you need to understand is there is no guarantee that we are going to start any of these games on Monday. All right, this is an experiment. This is a test drive. All right. If we play something tonight that is really captivating, that I'm really feeling, that you're really feeling, that everybody's like, we should totally play this right away, then we'll play that on Monday. Cool, right? If we don't come to that decision about any of the games we experienced tonight, then we play the one I decided on. Am I understanding correctly that your chosen one is not on here? Yes. There is a secret 11th game that is not on here that we will play if none of these really tickle our fancies enough to start on Monday. So, And I know somebody's going to ask. I am not going to tell you what it is beforehand because I don't want it to affect your evaluation of anything that we're playing tonight. However, at the end of the evening, when we're making our final determination of what we should play on Monday, I will let you know what it is so you can weigh it against the final choice. So for those of you who can persist late into the evening to the very end of the stream, you'll get to be the first ones to find out. He's not gonna tell us Eternal Sonata. You have no fear of that, okay? We have a pact. We have an agreement. Eternal Sonata will be the final game I ever stream on this channel, okay? This channel will not end until I stream Eternal Sonata, and I will not stream Eternal Sonata until I'm ready for this channel to end. And that's not Monday, okay? Because there's only one on this list I'm not interested because I played it. Cool that SaGa has had the same illustrator since the first romancing game. Also works on Sonic Unleashed, no kidding. So, all right. Caveats, warnings, things that we need to talk about. Because, frankly, people get passionate about RPGs. People get attached to RPGs. People have strong opinions about RPGs. So I want to lay down a few particular ground rules for tonight to keep things upbeat and flowing and whatnot. First of all, the usual caveat, the usual reminder. You might love some of these games. Your favorite RPG of all time might be on this wheel. However, I am under no obligation to like your favorite game, okay? There's a really good chance if we stream your favorite game, I'm gonna have something critical to say about it because I approach every game I play with a critical eye. I will talk about the things I like and I will talk about the things that I don't like. And yes, I hate your game. Your game specifically. I hate it. Dave knows what's up. No. My point is, if your enjoyment of the stream is contingent on me liking the game that we pick, we shouldn't pick that game. Like, straight up. Because that's just gonna leave us in an awkward position where either I don't feel like I can be honest about my experience, or you're gonna be unhappy. And I don't want you to be unhappy. So, I understand the inclination to have the funny streamer man play your favorite game and love it to death, but there is no guarantee I'm gonna love it to death, and I don't want you to be miserable if I don't love it to death. Okay? Just want something interesting. I don't care if you like it or not. That is the attitude I hope everybody's approaching this with, honestly. This is a surprising auditor's bad taste. Last round is neat. Frustrated you since you suck at micromanaging. There's a lot of management in it, isn't there? Brandon mentioned last night I beat Mondelia. I don't know what that is. Oh, interesting. Want something you don't get annoyed with and become sour-oddish with? Yeah, I would also like to avoid that. There's a big difference between playing garbage games during the power hours and being like, all right, F this, and playing a game that's just really frustrating me. And I get the sense that people don't really like watching that either, but that's why I want to test these games out. Try before we buy, Not liking being completely soured or different, yeah. The other thing, when it comes to RPG opinions, some of these are going to be contentious. People are going to like some of these games. People are not going to like some of these games. Not everyone is going to agree on everything. The important thing is I want to make sure people remain kind and respectful about it, okay? And I'm making this specific call out tonight so folks understand what constructive criticism looks like as opposed to just shitting on a game. If we start up Planescape Torment and you're like, graphics are kind of hard on my eyes, I don't like the pacing, the writing is a bit much, that's all fine. That's all constructive criticism. That's good for me to hear. It's good to know what you're feeling about a game. That's fine. If I start up Atelier Aisha and you're like, ew, anime, gross, oh, I hate it, blah, I will end you. Okay. We're not gonna do a bunch of empty-headed, like, shitting on games, okay? You can have well-reasoned, constructive criticism that will help me decide whether or not we should stream something. But I don't want you just being like, anime, because that doesn't help anybody. Conversely, if you're really enjoying something, you're really into something, and someone else in chat is not, they are just as entitled to their opinion as you. I don't want any arguments or fights breaking out, okay? We're all mostly adults here. I trust y'all. Y'all get along just fine, right? I just want to make this clear tonight, because what that's gonna tell me, if people start sniping at each other in chat, this game is bad, no, this game is good, blah 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 blah, that tells me if we do a full stream of, if we do a full playthrough of it, I'm gonna have to worry about seeing that every night, and I'm not gonna want to deal with that. So, ew, video games. What's up, Zem? It's not anime desk, claim character designer. Just completely empty-headed. That's probably a good way to approach this. I enjoy Starfield. I think people are dumping on it, just dump on it. That happens a lot, especially online. It's very easy to just poop out an opinion just because you want the attention or you want your voice to be heard or something. Drinking your night away. Here. Sounds good. What's up, Arcane? For some reason, Twitch was hiding the chat entirely. Yeah. Spice, you're the second person to think that. No! But the secret 11th game is not Eternal Sonata, because I'm not ready to end this channel. Eternal Sonata will be the death knell of GPG. It's not gonna end that way. Eva, thank you so much for subscribing for 29 months. None of these games are bad, only the streamer is bad. At least there's something we can all agree on. We can't really debate that. No. Anyway, chat, with all the spiel said, my only remaining question is, do you want me to do a quick breakdown of what these games are and what to expect? Or should I just spin the wheel and should we get going? Do you want to jump right in, or do you want a primer on these? Do you want a little background information? Spin the damn wheel. Just saying, is Eternal Sonata, what's up, Manic? Spin it, just spin it, just spin it. Just for your reference, I will give you a quick reference. Of these games, I have previously played Anachronox, Arcanum, Icewind Dale, Last Remnant, and played Planescape Torment. So half of these games I have played before. None of them I have finished. I have only played them, I've played them varying amounts. Planescape Torment's probably the one I got the furthest in, although I don't remember how far I got in Anachronox. It felt like it was pretty far. But I got very far into Torment. Last Remnant, Icewind Dale, and Arcanum, I just kind of like poked at, really. I keep reading Shadowrun, Dragonfall, Super Dragonfall. Wisdom is king in Planescape. Is it Wooden Ocean? It's not Wooden Ocean, I can tell you that much. If you get Icewind Dale, do you spend the entire stream watching you create characters? No. For games that have character creation, I'm gonna try and speed through that as fast as possible so we can get to the actual gameplay. Look, that's the other thing. Just one more thing. Just one more chat. Just one more thing. One more chat, bro. I don't know how many games we're gonna get to tonight. I want to get to as many as possible, but RPGs are fickle things. I don't know, like Atelier Aisha might have an hour-long cutscene intro. I don't know how this is gonna go down. Maybe we'll get to 8 games. Maybe we'll get to 2. Maybe I'll boot something up, decide I don't like it in the first 5 minutes, switch to game number 2, and we play that for the rest of the night because I'm so captivated by it. I don't know, okay? So if we don't get to the game that you really want tonight, I'm sorry, but that's the fickle fate of the wheel and frankly me, if we're being honest here. I mean, I do these things. It's how I do things, whatever. Incorrect, yeah, Aisha will definitely have a 1-hour intro. So we'll see. Anyway, wheel isn't half as fickle as Oddish. Anyway, chat. I have the wheel. It's right here. Nice popcorny wheel. I say we go ahead and spin it. Let's find out. Oh! I haven't tested any of these games either. So some of the older ones, we might have to take a mulligan on just because I haven't done anything extra to get them running. Just so you know. Okay, wheel time. Here we go. Woo! Oh God, it makes popcorn crunching sounds. Okay, we can start with that. Haha, no testing, let's go. Before we start, what does your brain say? You want to play one choice? Well, I guess it's too late for that, huh? All right, Romancing Saga 2, let's do it. Did we see this one before? No, we have not. This one, I promised y'all I would do this at some point, but I still haven't. So we played all three, we've done full playthroughs of all three Game Boy sagas, the Final Fantasy Legend series. And then we played the first game in the Romancing series. There was a recent remake of it that was released on Steam called Minstrel Song. And we did a couple nights of that, but it was not clicking for me. So we left that one behind. So ones that don't get played tonight will still be up for consideration later. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All of these are going to get their chance at some point. All right, Romancing Saga 2. I really don't know a whole lot about this game. But here we go. I hope here we go. It's okay, leave minstrels in the past. This is a game about dating? I don't think so. I don't think so. Why are you... Video game, why are you like this? I think we're gonna have to display capture this. There we go. I was like, is there sound? Legend of the Seven Heroes, cool. Almost looks like Romancing Soho. They defeated countless monsters and saved the world. Good for them. Good for them. That's all you can really ask of your heroes. But then they vanished. Okay, I guess the other thing you can ask is they stick around for a bit. No, my brother found these games completely inscrutable, so interested to see how it turns out. I maintain that the Game Boy sagas are very solid, especially the third one. Of course, the third one's the one that hews closest to a traditional RPG. Kazinsi, Subir, Dantarg, Noel, Bakhon, Rock Bouquet, and Wagnus. Boy, somebody just rolled their face on the keyboard for those names. It is rumored that they will return one day to save the world once again. And Steve. But yeah, Minstrel Song, I couldn't really figure out what I was doing in that game. Their legend was often spoken of when the world was in turmoil. And my understanding is the Saga series only gets more inscrutable over time. Like, the games get weirder and more experimental. They are forgotten when peace graced the land. Damn, peace. How dare you ruin our heroic epic. Secret 11th game is Elden Ring. What if it was? You'd totally make that argument, couldn't you? What if it was? Again, if y'all can stay up until the end of the stream tonight, I will reveal what the Mystery 11th game is. And you can help me decide between that and whatever wins tonight, if anything wins tonight. Romancing Saga 3 is pretty find-outable from what you played. Not so terribly inscrutable. This game is pretty, yeah. Original Romancing Saga was Super Nintendo. Were all three of the Romancing games on Super Nintendo? Oh, for those of you that can't stay up, because I don't want to guilt anybody into staying up for the entire night. If you can't make it, feel free to drop your opinion, your vote essentially, on whatever we played up to that point in chat on the way out. If you feel strongly about anything we've actually played. Oh, so they were on Super Nintendo, okay. On PlayStation, swapped over the Saga Frontier games, got you. Kingdoms come and kingdoms fall. With each turn of the hourglass, peace is shattered and strife engulfs every corner of the land. We'll do. These were not recommendations. These were ones that I picked. Some of them were requested through the hang on. So having monsters in town is a regular thing. If only the 7 heroes returned. Oh, Jesus Christ. They just... Wow. Okay. Wow, that man is very tall. So... I haven't actually pressed anything. I don't know if this is the attract mode or what. But it's just kind of going. Rip Brenda and Jared from Random Village. The music is good. Some particular seems incredibly ambitious for reasons you're gonna find out in a second. Perfect. Yeah, this is perfect. Oh my god, check out the animation. Obviously, the original game wasn't animated like this. But I think they actually put some effort into this remaster. Super Famicom Japan, December 10th, 1993. Wow. We're almost there in Nintendo Power. Still not a fan of chibi mode and, on the heroes. I mean, that just takes me back to my childhood. So I'm a fan. In the time of need, the people turned once more to the 7 heroes, wherever the hell they are. Then they came. Even when you can't play, you suck ass. They came. And I also came. Gross. However, oh my god, right in the face. Ah! Whoa! Oh, those don't look like heroes to me. They look weird. Okay, she looked kind of angelic. But maybe like Bad Angel or something. Ms. Roy, thank you so much for the raid. It's the Ms. Raid. The Summon Knights of the Round. Okay. I think now we actually play the video game. What's up, Monsieur Crepe? I can go for a crepe right now. I actually did just have a donut. Which is not the same thing. New game me. Start game with previous data. No. Select play mode. We recommend having additional content on. Sure. I'll be a dude. Quick, dude name. I don't have previous data. I've never booted this up before. So it might just do that no matter what. Chuck. The hero Chuck. Chandler. Chunkless. Boner Pills. Bubsy. This is so pretty. I will say right away, this is so pretty. I like it. What's going on though? I mean, that's us in the bottom right corner. This poem tells a tale of a centuries-old struggle. A tale of Avalon and the great empire in which it stands, a paean of emperors and their stalwart allies. Spirits of the land, rise and join my chorus. Years ago, the empire began in a small country named Avalon. I hope this turns into a musical number. I hope they all just start dancing. A land plagued that was rife with war and conflict. A land plagued that was rife with war and conflict. Leon ruled with a gentle hand and a sharp blade. Pauldrons make us so wide. 2 sons had he, Victor the Brave and Gerard the Kind. Also subject to a plague. One day, Leon took Gerard to hunt evil quarry, and thus begins our tale. Listen up, Gerard will be fighting with the Imperial Cross formation. I will be in the middle, Bear will be our vanguard, with James and Therese at the flank. Gerard, you are to stay safe in the rear, where you can fight without worry. The beasts in this foul den have troubled our citizens for the last time. Our charge is to best them and seal off the cave for good. I'm counting on all of you. All right, I am playing the video game, chat. It's real. I can also pause the video game. I can also go into the menu in the year 1000. All right, so at the top, I can use the top buttons to cycle through HP, LP, SP, MP. Oh God, there's so many Ps. Oh, Lord have mercy, there's so many Ps. Attributes. Gerard has nothing. Bear has sword. James has a little bit of everything. Therese has spear and arrow. Leon has a lot of sword. Good for Leon. Game is positively flooded with P. Equipment. Leon has a steel sword and a Roulette. And steel armor. So I guess you can equip multiple weapons. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Inventory. Balm. It's a one-handed potion as opposed to a two-handed potion? Which one is the MC? I had to step away and get a sneaky snack. Okay, that's a little... Okay, so we made a character named Chuck, but Chuck is currently in a pub somewhere listening to a bard tell a child the story that we are currently in right now about two princes, Leon and Gerard, who have gone on a small excursion to vanquish evil. So yeah, already the structure is very unique. Oh, that's neat. I can actually see the enemies. Hey, you want to fight? Misers? Really? Okay. Okay. Attack with your sword. Attack with your weapon. Here. Just attack. Let's go with some. Let's see what basic attacks do. All right, Miser. Whap whap. Nice whiff, idiot. All right. I mean, that seemed effective enough. I like the little animations. They're cute. It's like Undertale, the name you put in isn't your name. 10 tech points. I got tech. Hello, slime. Ew. Oh, God. They're kind of hideous when you get down this close. Let's try some specialities. Let's split some knees. Ow, that did a lot of damage. Oh, good. That did no damage. Uh-oh. 1 damage. Excellent. Perfect. SaGa understands the allure of the unprovoked spin kick. Well, I don't... Aha! Okay. So top buttons lets me cycle through the different items I have equipped. So we can do Steel Sword, Roulette, Martial Skill, and spells. He's gonna light ball it. Okay, interesting. Actually, you might as well just defend, huh? What's id break? Attack with your bow and confuse the target. I mean, shit, let's give it a try. Okay, that did some stuff. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. 18 tech points. Excellent. Met your magic. Okay, never mind. You learned how to cast magic. I mean, technically, yes. Oh, I see a treasure chest over there. And I want it. But first, bug. Bees! Oh, God, the bees. You want to try floretting that one? Maybe don't balm it. Actually, no, wait. I think we can just do... I think we just stack attacks on one enemy, and I think it'll auto-target to other ones. That did a lot of damage. That also did a lot of damage. Wow. I guess if you actually manage to hit a bee with a sword, it's gonna do a lot of damage. You run with B, but if you bump into a monster while running, your formation gets messed up, so be careful with it. That's yeah, there's the run button. All right. I want that treasure. Fuck these misers. Nonsense, I punched a fly and it did nothing. Hack, hack, chop, chop. Splap. It is definitely an interesting control scheme. That's much larger than I was led to believe. You run into an enemy on purpose. I'm curious what a messed up formation looked like. Yeah, sure, we can give that a try. I assume everybody is still going to be like in the cross formation, but just in different places. I love their little poses. Fun fact, Tuataras are real animals. Okay, cool. HP increased. Sword, greatsword, level up. HP increased. You did it. I'm very proud of you. I got a Chris knife. And that guy wanted to eat my ass. They have a third eye on their head? Do they really? That's surprising. I was super surprised when I played the original Final Fantasy 1 after playing the PS1 remaster. My party hit air after I group attacked one enemy in the group. Yeah. Yeah, I think all of the old NES all the NES Final Fantasies have that. You must specifically target the enemy you want to hit. Or otherwise, they just straight whiff. That was a very important bit of quality of life improvement that came much later. And Ma, Dad, I got a Chris knife and that guy was eating my ass. Okay, anyway, we're gonna run into this guy. Whee! Broke formation. Oh, now we're just in the standard lineup. Okay, interesting. Knee split this guy. Oh my god, that did so much more damage. That did a whole... Oh god, and they're missing. It's a nightmare, chat. Is there any value being in the different formations? Yeah, it seems like the cross formation adds a significant amount of defense to anyone who's not, like, right out in front. Okay, whoa there, champ. Wait, do you get your HP back? You must get your HP back after every battle. I have no idea what LP is. SP is your skill points for actually using things, and then MP is specifically for magic, I guess. Formations determine chance of being targeted and adds buffs, debuffs to specific positions. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. You ask me, chat, I think every RPG should just auto-refill your... At the very least, your health after each battle. It's such a tedious thing to have to, like chug a bunch of potions and heal back up after each fight. Other resources depends on how you have your game balanced, but HP, like, come on. Feels bad to have to kill bunnies. They're very cute. LP is lives. Okay. LP is life points. Lose one on death, one for being hit while down, run out. And that character's dead after. Gotcha. Okay. So that's like, wow, that's like OG SaGa. Because in the, like, in original Final Fantasy Legend, all your party members had hearts. Everybody has 3 hearts. And if you lose all of your, like, you use up a heart to revive. If you run out of hearts, they are gone. They're just done. Casual, I agree. Let me start over each fight. Yeah, seriously. You find some treasure. 100,000 crowns deposited in the Imperial Treasury. You cannot carry more money. I'll tell you when I've had enough money. This is nice. I don't know if dungeon crawlers would work with it just because the genre as a whole is about rhythm or returning to the dungeon and back to town. HP is a vital bit of managing that pace. I mean, I'm specifically talking about, like, RPGs like this. I haven't really played enough dungeon crawlers to have a strong opinion as far as that goes. But as far as, like, traditional, like Western and Japanese RPGs, yeah. That's actually a really good point, too. There should be a difficulty setting for that. All right, we were in the sealed cave. Let's go back to Avalon. I'm not in control of this right now, by the way. Your dude's trucking on his own. Neat, not the type of RPG at the moment that would keep your interest. All right, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I mean, I'm first impressions, chat. Just at first blush, do you want to see a full playthrough of this? Is it lighting your world on fire? Father, welcome back. Gerard, are you hurt? I'm not injured, but it took my all to keep up with Father and the others. Oh, that's Dad. Oh, that's Dad and son. Killing bunnies? Only fire lights my world on fire. Very SNES-y. Charming, I can't wait to see how you react to the big gameplay gimmick. Brother's more talented academics in fighting. Don't you think it's wise to spare him from battles? My duty to serve with my sword. Return of the 7 heroes won't bring about peace anytime soon. Battles will ensue. Gerard needs experience in order to be your right-hand man, Victor. Gerard's talents are better served in administration. Lane named Orive wishes an audience, Your Majesty. Her again. Requesting an audience every day tests my patience. Very well, let her through. Is that her hair or a veil? It's my honor to meet you, Your Majesty. You look rather young. They told me you were a seer, so I expect someone old. Didn't he say, like, she came every day? Why is she, like, nice to meet you? I thought she was headless. Leave us. Get the fuck out. Seems that Seer got lucky today. Father used her as an excuse to break her conversation. Gerard, don't do anything too reckless. Alright, we're Gerard now. Whee! Lord Gerard, please do not push yourself too hard. Whee! All clear here. I implore you to remove heavy armor to facilitate movement. Use the scale inside. The scale? There's a scale. Scale Gerard 8. Cool. It's okay if I specify the big gameplay gimmick in this one help me. Okay, how far are we from it? Is it something that I can expect to see in the next 5 to 10 minutes? Or is it unlikely we're actually gonna get to it? Oh, there's a store here. Balm, Puissance, Liqueur, and Chris Knight. Heck no. All right, what is it? What is the big gimmick? It's only 5 hours in. Sure by RPG standards. I'm doing research on formations. They show me any new tactics you know. Free for all. Cool, good for you. So it's a strategy game. You're gonna be doing kingdom management shit. Oh, okay. So I guess that's why when we found all that treasure, it went into the national treasury, huh? Generational system where your character dies. Cool. People are meant to do different things. Lord Gerard should be devoted to academia. Lord Gerard, you must train in the sword. You'll be in trouble when the time comes. Andromachy, when that time comes, I want you to protect me. I cannot imagine becoming as strong as you. That is not true. Emperor Leon and Lord Victor are fine swordsmen. Is the system from Phantasy Star 3? Lord Gerard, please not push yourself too hard. Secretly judging shadows. Hey, this was one of the guys we were traveling with. Lord Gerard, note the battle formations are broken while dashing. Bison. Duly noted. I'll be careful. Alright, I tell you what. We have a save here. I'm gonna say let's go ahead and move on. I don't think this one has sparked anything particular in anyone. And I agree, it's a very SNES RPG, which if we're in the mood for that, I think this may be something that we'll do in the future. But I think for now, better to move on. When you die, it moves later in the timeline. You play as a later king of the same empire. That's cool. That's actually pretty neat. Man, I don't know why these Square PC ports just don't have an exit button or anything. I don't know why you have to Alt F4 them or whatever. Fucking weird. Why do they like that? All right, anyway. I went through a fit over a full playthrough. This is not WoW. I think so. Bear in mind, just because we check something out and we're like, whatever. It doesn't mean we're never gonna stream it. Okay, it doesn't. It's not off the list forever. You know, if y'all see something, you're like, oh, this is cool, but maybe not right now. We can always return to it in the future. You know, I'm not gonna write off Romancing Saga 2. I would like to give it a more complete look. You know what I'll probably do, honestly? You know what I will probably do? Is at some point I'll do a vote between similar games. I'll do a vote between this and like a Dragon Quest and maybe like a Final Fantasy. I'll do a vote between like old 16-bit RPGs or something. That seems to me to be more fair. Anyway, we'll pop that off the list and let's see what's next. You need to revisit that one puzzle game from last month also. Oh, hello. Hello. That one puzzle game from last month. Puzzle game. Seems fun for me personally. I'm more into Western RPGs versus JRPGs, so I have a bias. I mean, that's entirely fair. All right, let me see if this will actually game capture. Oh boy, reading time. Oh yes, it is. There's your VA experience to use. This one is going to be a lot of reading, isn't it? All right. Anyway. I have stream delay and knew exactly what won the second you said that. All right. All right, buddy. So yeah, this is, of the games on this wheel, this is probably the one I'm the most familiar with. Fine. There it is. I also just won't lie, I'm massive bias towards two of these titles, which I've already mentioned. The perspective manipulation game with the embassy with anxiety issues. Viewfinder? Was it Viewfinder? Do you have bias for a few of these games? Also open to seeing the others. Was it the one where you take pictures and you put the content of the pictures into the real world and you move around in them? Is that a corpse butt? Yeah, let's just go with yeah. Think you remember this? This is a fantastic game. Oh, Zem, are you thinking of Homebody? You do play as a preset character in this, yes. True first gen 3D here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, very much so. Okay, wow. So I didn't realize how many of you in chat were unfamiliar with this game. The main character in this has one of the most interesting RPG gimmicks. The City of Sigil is actually no longer canon. I mean, does the Planescape setting still exist even? Anyway, New Life. Welcome to Planescape Enhanced Edition. That's great. What are enhanced options anyway? Larger field of view, creatures are smoothed out, have outlines highlighted, faster game speed. That sounds great, honestly. That sounds wonderful. All right. D&D 5e just put out a new Planescape book. I did not know that. I did not know that. All right. So there is character generation. You are this guy. All you know is that you are this guy. He is the nameless one. Everything in con and charisma, sure. How many points do I have? Oh, they give you a shit ton of points. Conrisma. I think you can hit, yeah, you can hit 18 pretty easily in this. Yeah. And then I think wisdom is also important. We'll be a little wise. Also, if we decide we really like one of these games and we decide to start on Monday, I will start over on Monday. So don't be thinking long term about these. Anything goes tonight. It's fine. Oh my god, the enhanced edition is...
Chief, you okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties?
Can you zoom
I thought
in?
you were a deader for sure.
Yeah, if this is how the enhanced edition works, this is like yeah, this is Torment for ants. God. Who are you? Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? So anyway, we're this zombie looking dude and we're talking to a flying skull. Who are you? I don't know, I can't remember. Can't remember your name? Well, next time you spend a night in this burg, go easy on the bub. Name's Morte. I'm trapped in here, too. Trap? Yeah, since you haven't time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I've tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than chastity belt. Heyo, we're locked in. Where is this place? It's called the Mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. Mortuary? Wait, am I dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty, though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the laugh before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars, how bad are they? Well, the carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back... Morte pauses. Say, it looks like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells out something. Tattoos on my back? What do they say? Looks like you come with directions. Clears his throat. Let's see. It starts with... I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Styx wash, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farad can fill you in on the rest of the chant if he's not in the dead book already. It says, dude. Apparently, all that is written on his back. Farad, does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. Let's see. Don't lose the journal. It'll be up the Styx again. And whatever you do, do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you. Read the journal, then find Farad. No wonder my back hurts. That's a damn novel written there. As for that journal I'm supposed to have with me, was there one with me when I was lying here? No, you were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looks like you got enough of a journal penned on your body. What about Farad? Do you know him? Nobody I know, but then again, I don't know many people. Still, some Burke's got to know where to find Farad. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we need a key. Chances are one of the walking corpses in this room has it. Walking corpses? Wouldn't everyone be able to see that on his back, especially since stripped? When we get into the nuances of the mortuary, you'll understand that that's not really a concern. Case in point right here. The mortuary keepers use dead bodies as cheap labor. The corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless and won't attack you unless you attack first. So I should attack one of these corpses and loot it for the key? Well, before you do that, arm yourself first. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves around here. Alright, I'll look for one. One last thing, those corpses are slow as molasses, but getting punched by one of them is like being kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. You need to keep some distance if you need to recover. Thanks for the advice. How to play? I think it'll be fine. Okay, first of all, okay, thank Christ, you can actually zoom in. I don't know why it was like automatically zoomed all the way out, but you can zoom in.
Done.
So we're the nameless one, and this is our buddy Morte. Call the weapons in the dev specifically go out of their way to avoid typical RPG stuff like swords. I'm trying to remember. I definitely didn't use a sword when I played this game. I had a big nasty axe. Let's see, is this the... Okay, we got some bandages from that shelf. Big nasty ass. Just slammed into them with my ass. Device looks like some sort of sewing machine, arms with hooks, tubes, and metallic thread hang from it. Looks like someone's in the middle of dissecting this corpse. Have another poor soul played these types of games for the advent of the mouse wheel? Well, in the original game, it wasn't zoomed out like that. The original game was basically played from this fixed camera angle, which was honestly perfectly suitable. There ain't nothing here. I'm over here. Hell out of my way. No. I know there's something around here. Think there were mouse wheels in 1999? They weren't common. And again, you couldn't zoom in or out in the original game. All right, you found the scalpel. Now go get those corpses, and don't worry, I'll stay back and provide valuable tactical advice. Maybe you could help me. I will be helping you. Good advice is hard to come by. I'm in attacking the corpse. Me? I'm a romantic, not a soldier. Just get in the way. When I attack this corpse, you better be right there with me, or you'll be the next thing that I plunge the scalpel into. All right, I'll help you. And if you want to attack, you just need to make sure you're both selected. All right, anyway, we have an inventory now. Let's see, here's my inventory screen. We got a scalpel. That'll go here in our quick weapon. So, if you're wondering about inventory in this and equipment, our inventory slots include left earring, chest, left ring, wrist, tattoo, other tattoo, hand, right ring, tattoo, and eyeball. Morte's inventory consists of nothing because he is a skull. He does have his bite, which has stats and background. Morte's bite is lethal and he can masticate someone to death as long as his quick weapon slots are not all filled. Morte can always select bite as his current weapon. Come on, give him a hat. All right, anyway.
All right.
All right. Think. Oh, I accidentally talked to him. Samling corpse looks like it's been dead for several years. The skin along its forehead is peeled back, revealing its chalk white skull. Someone has chiseled the number 569 into the exposed bone. Looking for a key. Do you happen to have one? Chief, they can't hear you, all right? They're dead. But you're dead and you're talking to me. Yeah, but I'm special. Death couldn't kill my zest for life. These corpses here, they probably didn't have much personality to begin with. I see. Look, Chief, watching you try to swap the chant with these corpses isn't doing much for my morale. Let's leave the corpse talks for the barmies, all right? All right, here we go. Let's examine him for a key. This corpse doesn't appear to be carrying a key, and it doesn't look like he'd be able to use one if it did. Its fingers are broken as if someone smashed them with a hammer. You do happen to notice that his left shoulder is heavily bandaged. The bandages might be usable if the corpse was disposed of first. Okay. In the corpse's defense, I'm alive and pretty much like them. How about this one? This corpse's head lolls back and forth on its shoulders. Judging from the angle of its neck, it looks like this man may have been hanged. The number 825 has been painted on the side of its head. Examine him. Corpse is carrying nothing, but you happen to notice his hands are heavily bandaged. The bandages might be usable if the corpse was disposed of first. Oh, this guy. Corpse stops and stares blankly at you as you approach. The number 782 is carved in his forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. Examine corpse. This corpse looks like the one with the key. Is holding it tightly in its left hand, its thumb and forefinger locked around in a death grip. It looks like you'll need to hack the corpse's hand off to free the key. Hang on, I'm curious about something. Yeah, he's got the key in his hand. Ah. Alright. Need that key.
What's up? Good is done.
Oh, he's done.
Done.
Alright, there's the preparation room key. His bronze key has been twisted around itself several times so it resembles a screw. Morte is to believe it unlocks one of the doors in the preparation room. So we'll take that. And while we're here...
Done.
While we're here, we might as well take on these other guys, too. So I can have the bandages. I mean, seriously, they're dead. They don't mind. Can't get away with all this corpse murder. Ah, there's his loot. Give. Alright, we got a couple doors here. Alright, that opened this. Oh, cutscene. Some advice, Cheap. I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary, especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are these caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis on the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die, sooner better than later. I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape? Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's got to die, sooner better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? The corpses, where'd they all come from? Death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses. Why? What? Are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lopping their limbs off, things like that. Last chance, what are you talking about? Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? Huh? Huh? No. No, I don't actually. Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience. Wait, didn't you say before I'm not dead? But, alright, you might not be dead, but I am. And for where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely. Alright, well, I'll try to remember that. In Morte's defense, he is all boned by this point. Second, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget. If I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that. Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. Is plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you. Alright. Use to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things like who you are, more importantly, who I am, use to refresh your memory.
Updated my journal.
Yes, Morte is very crass and gross. That is his character. He's not like 90s edgy. That's just, it's just his character. It's who he is. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper thin, almost wispy, like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been scratched under her forehead with a charcoal pencil. I'll leave her in peace. Psst, you see the way she was looking at me? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? You mean that blank-eyed, beyond-the-grave stare? Are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me. Alright, so we got options here. Why don't you go away, maybe? She's obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth. Or, I think you're imagining things. She's a zombie, a corpse, a dead person. You probably didn't even register to her senses. I think you and your imagination need some time away from each other. Go with this one. Yeah, whatever. When you've been dead as long as I have, you know the signals. They may be too subtle for you to pick up on, but that's why I'm spending my nights with some luscious, recently dead shit. Well, you're standing around going, huh? What's going on? Where's my memories? Assuming it's a comic relief, I keep hearing this game is heavily philosophic. I wonder how that marries with Morte's dialogue. Yeah, Morte... It's kind of your issue with this game. It's not quite grimdark as far as I played. It was just relentlessly, viscerally gross. I don't find this game to be gross. I find it to be... It's set in a world where there's really no limits on fate, on what can happen to people. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but like Sigil is a crossroad between many, many, many different worlds, and all kinds of beings and creatures and powers flow there. So you get, like, you end up with people who are eternally on fire. You end up with people who, like, pass through portals into realms of pure tangible madness that can never recover from that. Beings of pure energy. Like, there's just a whole lot going on here, and then Sigil kind of ends up being like the dumping ground for all of this, as the crossroads of universes. Like, the people that end up here and end up trapped here are not the best and brightest, you know? It's kind of like the hovel at the end of the universe. Character exploration of extreme ideas. Yeah, and I feel like, so, because I don't think we're gonna have time to really get to this in tonight. But your character, the nameless one, can't die. That's one of the big things about this game, is the nameless one can't die. I mean, he can technically, but if you take physical damage and you lose all your hit points and you fall down, you'll just get back up again later. He is functionally immortal as long as he's not, like, immolated or obliterated. And that is something that he's aware of. That's something that's very important to the plot, and that's something that you can actually use as a character. I'm gonna spoil this one thing because it's a really neat example. Because somebody mentioned, it's like, you've heard this is a very philosophical game, but you haven't really seen that. After we get out of the mortuary here, one of the first places we go, there's somebody we can meet who is just, like, frankly, severely depressed. Like, they see no point to living. They're considering ending it all. They've just, like, they don't see any point to life whatsoever. And we have the option. One of our options is to try and convince them otherwise. To convince them not necessarily that there's a point to life, but that death is not the release that they expect it to be. And they don't necessarily believe us. And one of the ways that we can convince them that we know what we're talking about is to kill ourselves in front of them. And then when we revive back in the mortuary later, come back and then talk to them again and be like, see, we know how death works. So they do a lot of really interesting stuff with the mechanics and the story beats in this. I need to play this right now. Yeah, one of the big selling points of this game is, like, there are genuine... You're not seeing this right now because we're talking to fucking zombies who don't even speak. There are a surprising amount of dialogue options in this. Like, when you talk to an important character and, like, they ask you something, like, they ask you, like, can I trust you with this job? You will seriously get, like, 6 different responses. You'll get, like, the the noble forthcoming response. You'll get the what's in it for me response. You'll get the no, go fuck yourself response. You'll get the, like, sure, I'll do it, and then, like, to yourself, but I'm gonna backstab you and take the reward. You can promise to do it and mean it, or you can promise to do it and be lying about it. And all of this is actually really, really important. And I won't spoil this, but this uses the old D&D alignment system, you know, lawful, good, chaotic, evil. And that's actually really, really important mechanically later on in the game. And yes, your stats can determine your responses too. Like, if you're strong or clever enough for certain responses. All right, left side of this woman's face looks like it was caved in with a club, and her flesh sags and bruised, swollen clumps over a ruined skull. The number 626 has been stitched on the corpse's right cheek, just below the eye. Nasty wound you got there. Corpse continues to stare at you with this one good eye. That's great. One complaint about this game is there always a best response is whatever's the longest, as I recall. I mean, I feel like that kind of depends on your alignment. I mean, maybe there's always a best response for your alignment, but I don't know. Some of the quests in this have a lot of layers. Some of them are not very straightforward as to how you should handle it. And also because of the nature of the world, it's sometimes you need to do some serious experimentation just to figure out like how to progress with things because the mechanics of Sigil are so arcane. Corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches one of the corners of the triangle, it pauses, then turns and staggers towards the next corner. It has 965 tattooed on the side of its skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you. And it looks like someone forgot to tell this sod to stop walking the rule of threes. What do you mean? These corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. When they're told to do something, they keep doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor sod probably finished some task, and they forgot to tell him. It says something about the rule of threes. What do you mean by that?
My journal.
Well, the rule of threes is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything's composed of 3 parts, or there's always 3 choices, and so on and so forth. You don't sound like you held much faith in it. It's a load of wash, if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're going to find plenty of coincidences. Who gives these corpses these tasks? And one of the caretakers or whatever necromancer raised them out of the dead book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They're the ones who need the cheap labor after all. Why are you walking triangle? There's definitely a best stat though, which is unfortunate. Yeah, that is also true. Appreciate how this appears to be an RPG where intelligence can actually be a good stat to dump every point in. Unfortunately, the way this game is set up, and somebody mentioned it earlier, there is a best stat and it's wisdom. Like if you're not putting a ton of points into wisdom, you're kind of holding yourself back. Kind of like intelligence in the early Fallout games, since it determines your skill point growth and stuff. This corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpse is lying there. The number 396 is carved in his left temple. His lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying rolled bandages in his hand. The bandages look usable. We'll leave him for now. One of these corpses you can actually... Oh, shit. We should talk to this guy. Some of these corpses you can actually have more complicated interactions with. We just haven't run into one of them yet. Hi. This scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings. Whoa, Chief, what are you doing? I was gonna speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box of Dusty should be the last thing. Before Morte can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down. The scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. We especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the bit... Before Morte can finish, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Restless one, do you know me? Know you? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. He is silent for a moment, for you have forgotten, have you not? Are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question, as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. He pauses for a moment, catches his breath. I am dull. Perhaps you can answer some questions for
journal.
me. Do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant little of you, restless one. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, restless one. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. This is not our first time exiting this place, no. Are others who have journeyed with me and they are here?
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought she had traveled with you in the past. Dahl looks like he is about to start coughing again, then catches his breath. Am I mistaken? Where is her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I don't ever recall traveling with a woman. I want an RPG where luck is a useful stat. You tell me how to get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than Dustman pass. One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you're extremely persuasive. Alright, there's a lot more we can get out of him, but honestly, the thing I want to do right now is I want to get downstairs to show y'all one more thing, and then I think we'll be safe to move on. Trying to think about an RPG where luck is a useful stat. I mean, honestly, luck has a pretty dramatic effect in the old Fallout games. Like, you can actually get by with some really shitty stats if you have decent luck. Is this one special? This huge corpse is standing silently in a corner of the room facing the wall. He looks to have been a heavy-set man in his early years, and judging by the condition of his body, he died only recently. The freshly stitched number on his forehead reads 1664. His corpse looks like it is serving as a librarian, for he is carrying a huge stack of books in its arms. The books appear to be old mortuary ledgers. None of them have any particular interest. As you search through the text, however, you notice a loose page folded between two of the books. You're suddenly struck with the feeling that someone tucked it in there to hide it. Page doesn't look like it belongs to the ledgers. It looks like it belongs in a logbook. The tear is clean as if with a knife, so you suspect the page was removed on purpose. Take a moment to read through the page as a list of dead bodies brought to the mortuary and logged in the receiving room. All the entries appear to be recent arrivals. And the zombie again. Okay, cool. I think we can't. Okay, yeah, you can run in this. Yeah. This place is pretty gross. Avian? What is this? See a slight young woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck make her appear as if she is starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with her finger. Greetings. The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives, removing organs. Say greetings. The woman makes no response. I think the dusty chip might be a bit short of hearing, Chief. Let's lay off, shall we? What's wrong with her hands?
Updated my journal.
She's a tiefling, Chief. They got the fiend blood in their veins, usually because some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with one demon or another. Makes some addled in the head and addled looking, too. Tap the woman, get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are a rotting yellow with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Greetings? She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted. You. She clacks her talon fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands. Find thread and embalming juice. Bring here. Go, go, go.
Updated my journal.
Actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and then we'll call it there, because this is actually... I remember this now, and this is neat. We might need to find it off of a zombie worker. This one's eyeballs are crisscrossed. Oh, this is interesting. This heavily stitched corpse is shuffling lazy back and forth between two slabs. The number 506 has been stitched onto its forehead and the side of its neck and its right arm. In fact, the skin of this peeling corpse has been sewn up with so many stitches, its skin looks like a bizarre street map. Let's examine them. The stitches encircle the corpse, running from its arms, across its chest, up its neck, and into the damp mass of white hair. As you follow the crossroad of stitches, you notice someone has jammed a needle into the corpse's forehead. The needle is attached to a thread stitching up the side of the skull. You could probably unravel it if you had something to cut the thread. So we'll cut the stitches with our scalpel and pull out the needle and thread. So we gained experience for that. You slice the thread neatly with the scalpel, then pluck out the needle and pull the stitches out. As you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk white skull, where, to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Seems you got 2 different designations there, corpse. So we have the needle. This corpse 985 has stopped dead in his tracks. Judging from the condition of his left leg, it looks as if some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. The corpse is wobbling unsteadily back and forth, trying to keep its balance. Let's try and help him. Reach out for the corpse's left arm to help steady it. As you grab its arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it. Chief, you might not want... There is a crack from the corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon. Filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse, and even stranger, the left leg remains standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the leg falls over with a wet thumb. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice his left arm seems intact. It is snapped from the torso during the fall and doesn't appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that spread throughout the rest of the body. I wonder if I could use that arm. So... Oh, it's still on the ground. Here we go. Left arm 985. It's a weapon. Damage 1 to 6 crushing. At last we are armed. That's definitely going in here. Alright, we need formaldehyde, chat. We need to find us some formaldehyde. I mean, there's a lot of tables around here. Not there. Not there. Not there. I thought you just needed 1 maldehyde, not 4. This is really funny. Alright, this room. I think there's probably formaldehyde on one of these zombies. Shambling corpse gazes you with vacant eyes. Number 821 is carved in his forehead. Lips have been stitched closed. Faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. So, seeing anything interesting going on? As you address the zombie, it blinks in surprise. Huh? What? You're not a zombie? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. It has a peculiar half-frightened, half-angry expression. Who are you? What do you want? Who are you? Zombie doesn't seem to have heard you. It looks you up and down for a few minutes and frowns. What do you do here? You spy on Dusties? So here's an example of what I was talking about. No, I'm not trying to escape. I'm not a spy. I got sealed in here and by accident. Can you help me out? Lie. Yes, I'm spying on the Dusties. Why don't you tell me what you're doing here? And look, I'm the one asking the questions. Tell me what you're doing or I'll make that disguise a reality. I'm trying to escape. You in trouble? What'd you do? Got trapped in here somehow. Silent for a moment, then nods. Why should I help you? Maybe we could help each other out. What do you want in return? Again, we can implore their help. We can offer a trade. We can threaten to expose them. Or we can threaten them with death. You need to get key for me, iron key, and Balmer's room. Where's this key? Dusty Chit has it. She has yellow eyes, blades on fingers. Okay.
Updated
That's
my
who we
journal.
already met. Alright. So in theory, these quests may be related if we can find formaldehyde. Does the charisma play into this? I think it's labeled. I think these things are labeled if the stats affect it. Ah, here we go. Jar of embalming fluid. I think this should be what we're looking for. So let's go back to what's her face? Mainly, there's just a really neat interaction with this character if we do this quest. You see Iveen, she is still dissecting the corpse chest with her talons. The rhythm of the talons reminds you of something you can't quite recall what. So now we have the option, watch her study the motion of her hands.
Updated my journal.
As you study the motion of Iveen's hands, you feel prickling along your scalp, and then suddenly you find your vision swimming, blurring, until... You're standing in front of a freshly slain corpse, rigor mortis making a mockery of its smile. The number 42 has been stitched onto its scalp. The zombie is lying on a slab, and you've just finished stitching up its chest. You've placed something inside, something that may prove useful if you come this way again. Okay, so by watching her hands, we unlocked a memory from one of our previous lives, if you want to call it that. There is a zombie with the number 42 that has something inside of it. Game has certainly kept your interest. I mean, I've played a good chunk of this game before, and I really like this one. It has a really interesting setting. It has a really interesting plot. It's got really interesting mechanics. Like, it's one of the more interesting RPGs I've ever played. Memory of your voice is an echo, strange and hollow to your ears. You cross your arms in front of your chest, and you're surprised the corpse does too. After a moment, hands fall back to its side, and it does. The vision fades. So we have regained a memory. So anyway, we'll tap her and get her attention. Let's give her the thread and the embalming fluid.
My journal.
All right, so we got experience for that. Notice there's a dill pickle flavored ice cream available now if you feel bold enough to try it. Without missing a beat, Iveen snaps the thread from your hands and hooks it around her talons and begins sewing up the corpse's chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. So we can choose to leave, or we can wait. Within minutes, she's finished. She clicks her talons and turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hand and drags her talons across your arms and chest. So we can protest, we can push her away, or we can keep playing zombie. Looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You two need some time together, or we're gonna keep playing zombie. As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice she seems to be examining your scars. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, and bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest. Who write on you? Hivers do that? No respect for zombies. Zombie is not painting. She sniffs and pokes one of your scars. This one, bad shape. Many scars. No preserves. Wait. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like, she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but looks like she's about to start stitching you up. We can still stop her, or we can let her work, which is what I'm gonna do.
Updated my journal.
The sensation is curiously painless as Iveen begins to stitch up your scars. When she is done, she sniffs at you, frowns, and stabs her fingers in the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she has dabbed your body with the fluid. And strangely enough, it makes you feel better. Maybe the second time in my life I'm thankful I don't have a nose. Iveen puts the last touch in her body, gives you another sniff, nods, and makes a shooing motion with her talons. And then we're gonna ask her about a key. And then we got the key.
My journal.
So yeah, that's the first big interaction that kind of gives you an idea of the nature of your character in this. You're not a normal person. You are essentially a walking corpse, and the game deals a lot in the mechanics of that. But anyway, I think that's enough of a look at this one. What do you think, chat? What's your impression of this one? Love it so far. Pretty interesting, intrigued. Neat if a little... It is heavy on the grimdark. It certainly is. Oh, I like the way these are labeled. New life is new game. Select life is load game. Resume life is load last. Alter senses is options, and the abyss is quit. Interesting, and not what I was expecting from Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale. No, it's very different. It's very different from the traditional Dungeons and Dragons setting. One of your all-time favorite games? Hi, it's me, the one guy who doesn't like Planescape Torment much. It's strange you've been told, but intriguing. Interesting. Your enthusiasm for it all. Yeah. Sorry, it's not fair, but I'm definitely more excited about some of these games than others just because I'm more familiar with them. So, all right, we'll keep that one in mind. We'll discuss that again later. But for now, there is more wheel to be had, chat. There is more wheeling to do. 2 down, 8 to go. Halfway through the night, I'm feeling good. Here we go. All right, this is gonna look very familiar. More wheeling and dealing. All right, we're gonna Arcanum this. Oh, good, the other reading one. This one, we'll see. Don't think of it as a bias so much as it helps your performance of playing stream. It does, and I think that's something that I need to keep more in mind in the future. Is that honestly, I probably, for full playthroughs, I really should lean more towards games that I know I'm gonna like, I think. 2 for 2 for masterpieces. This one, I mean, look, Planescape is like a seminal work. It's an all-time great. This one's a little more contentious, I would say. You watched a Mandalore review of this? Which ones did you play so far? What's up, not a roguelike? Oh my god, will you just fucking capture the window, please? We played Romancing Saga 2 a little bit. We played Planescape Torment, and now we're gonna play Arcanum. So we're the third one in, and I'm gonna have to set it to display capture because it's being all fussy with me. Hang on, we're gonna exit out. Actually, let me see if I need to change any of these. Yeah, there's like no options in this. This is a pretty rough game. All right, hang on one sec. Display capture. Planescape is the kind of game where the hype has been built up to impossible levels. I mean, it's not... I don't know. I mean, it's legit. It's legit a very good game. And it's, you know, until... There's honestly just not that many games out there that are as well written as that. You know? Maybe it's like Arcanum. What's that? A Terra application? Streams aren't a platonic ideal. Playing a game as a performance of you interacting with it. That does matter to some degree. That's a very good point, Two Hit. That is actually a very good point. I love that little intro bit. Fun is contagious, also very true. All right, so this does technically have multiplayer. I've never attempted it because this game is janky enough in single player. New game. All right. Oh god, do I want to make... What's this called again? This is Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. If I do pick... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I am going to show you character creation, and then I'm going to pick a character. All right. All right. So in this game, you can choose to be you can be human, you can be dwarf, you can be elf, you can be half elf, you can be gnome, halfling, half orc, or half ogre. Let me go with male or human male for right now. Oh, significant. Oh yeah, you can. There's a bunch of backgrounds you can take by like raised by snake handlers or apprenticed to a blacksmith or something. They all look human. Yeah. Oh, choose name. This is Mr. Test because we're not going with this guy. Okay. So. Oh god, this is really complicated. Honestly. Okay. So this game has a bunch of stats, and it's not going to tell me what they are. If I click on them, no, I'm not. Okay, so oh, there it is. There it is. I just had to click. mod the character portrait of Bubsy wearing a Victorian shirt. Okay, there is a lot going on here, and I'm going to try and explain it to you. There's an alignment meter, which isn't really affected by character creation. Strength determines how much damage can be inflicted and absorbed. Weapons have a minimum strength to operate. Constitution determines fatigue and resistance to poison in some spells. Dexterity affects default ability and more skills than any other stat. Beauty is a stat in this. As physical appearance, beauty affects the initial reaction of people of this character. Intelligence affects skills, the limiting factor in the learning of spells and technological skills. Willpower limits spellcasting, affects haggle, and contributes to hit points, fatigue, and certain spell resistances. Perception, notice surroundings, ability to use ranged weapons. Charisma, the sum of personality and charm, affects the ability to persuade others and change their reaction. Derived stats, you have carrier weight, damage bonus, armor class adjustment, speed, healing rate, poison recovery, reaction modifier, max followers, resistances to damage, magic, fire, poison, electrical. And then, okay, over here. Over here, we have combat skills, bow, dodge, melee, and throwing. We have thieving skills, backstab, pickpocket, prowling, which is basically stealth and spot trap. Social skills, gambling, haggling, healing, and persuasion. And technological skills, repairing, firearms, pick locks, and disarm traps. Okay, then you have the different technological pursuits. You have herbology, chemistry, electrical stuff, explosives, gunsmithing, mechanical, smithing, and therapeutics. And these are basically each one of these is like a linear skill tree. So for example, the gunsmithing, I believe these are all things that you can make. Yeah, they're all things you can make. So under gunsmithing, it's like handcrafted flintlock, fine revolver, repeater rifle, silenced revolver, looking glass rifle. Under electricity, there's electric light, charged ring, flow spectrometer, shocking staff. So, and then there's spells, and there are 16 different colleges of magic. So the whole thing about Arcanum, the reason why it's subtitled Of Steamworks and Magic Obscura, is because this takes place during the Industrial Revolution in a fantasy world where technology and magic are set in direct opposition to each other. You have people who are skilled and powerful in the mystic arts, and then you have the people that have gone all in on technology and are using that to kind of trying to even the playing field. Now, because these are in direct opposition to each other, you have to go one way or the other. You can choose to be a technologist and learn how to craft a bunch of shit, or you can be a magician and learn a bunch of magic. And whatever you do affects this meter over here. This is your magic tech meter. The scale displays magical technological aptitude. The higher the needle, the more magical. The lower, the more technological. So whichever way you go with these skills, you lean more into that side of society. And this has a huge impact on how things work. Slight spoiler for later in the game, there are certain locations you cannot even go into if you're one or the other. Like, if you are a technologist, you cannot go into magical sanctums. You'll just die. If you're a mage, you cannot go into like high-tech workshops. It will sap all of your vitality. Whatever I specialized in totally boned me later on in the game. Anyway, the different colleges of magic are conveyance, divination, air, earth, fire, water, force, mental, temporal, summoning, phantasm, necromantic white, necromantic black, nature, morph, and meta. Not virtual reality. The meta college contains spells that affect other spells. So just to give you an example of some of these things, nature has Charm Beast, Entangle, Control Beast, Regenerate. Earth has Strength of Earth, Stone Throw, Wall of Stone. Temporal has Mage Lock, locks any portal. Congeal Time halves the speed of all creatures in the vicinity. The Necromantic ones are really, really interesting. Necromantic Black has Harm, Conjure Spirit. Oh, Conjure Spirit's the interesting one. This spell allows the caster to speak with the spirit of the target corpse upon which it is cast. You can talk to dead people, and that's actually really useful for some of the quests in this game. What's Meta Magic got? Resist Magic, Disperse Magic, Dweemer's Shield, prevents magic from operating on the target. Spell prevents a target creature from casting any spells, and a Reflective Barrier. Magic is real strong in this, and Harm is one of the best damage spells in the game for a long, long time. Yeah, it's kind of busted in that respect. Good at fighting wizards, but not much else with that. Yeah, that's the other thing too. If you're a magic-y type person, I think some of these do. Okay, so yeah, some of this magic does interact with like technology, like disarm. If somebody's coming after you with a gun, you can just cast disarm on them, right? There's magical unlocking. I was right. Force gets lightning and disintegrate. Unlocking cantrip sounds like a great way to get in trouble. No mage never expects a gun. So anyway, with that, all that incredible explanation out of the way, I'm going to pick a character. We got Merwin Tumblebrook, a male halfling. Let's see, what is he into? Looks like he's a technological rogue. Godfrey Castleberger is a male gnome. He's a gunsmith. Horace McGinley is a male half-elf. Street magician. Muck Evil Eye. He's basically a brawler. Dren Laor. Some kind of magic-wielding historian or something. Solomon Dune. Seems like he's into black magic. Merrick Luggerton. Pugilist. Lugard Bloodstone. I was about to say, are there any women in this game? Let's go... Hang on. There's only a few, actually. Meme on Victor Von Doom memes with Dune. Tech doesn't take off very fast. I'm gonna take this... Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's take this guy. Let's see what he does. You find yourself aboard the IFS Zephyr, high above the Stonewall Mountain Range. Think only humans and elves have women characters? Oh, you might be right, actually. Uh-oh. Something about several of the races not having women's sprites, at least not playable. Traveling from Latveria. Uh-oh. Brian wishes to play these types of games more. Part of me is like, oh, I hate the number crunching, the RPG elements. Some of them are crunchier than others, definitely. This is one of the crunchier ones. The builds in this are complicated just because there's so many options. But honestly, like, I think if you're gonna play this game for the first time, it would be wise to follow a guide and go with one of the, like, really busted builds. Like, honestly, just making an elven mage and putting a bunch of points into harm is gonna do you up right for most of the game. I think tech characters can be really strong, but require, like, more knowledge of the game to work out what to do.
Help me, please. Oh, thank you, my friend. I haven't got much time. You must find the boy. Find the boy and give him back his ring. He will know what needs to be done.
Oh, God, Jesus.
Now, listen,
Good or just hear Robbie.
We had to do it. He did unspeakable things to us, and we had no choice but to do as he said. There are so few of us left, but the work is almost finished, and then the evil...
Good coffin.
Oh, you can't imagine. He's coming back to destroy everything. Everything.
Summoning spells get absolutely ridiculous.
Please, just find the boy. Tell him that I escaped. I came back to warn. He will know what to do. You, my friend, it's all up to you.
Find the boy, save the world. Played a mage with good charisma and recruited a bunch of guys and also took someone's barely fight.
I mean, you and then the Zeppelin and the fire. And the altar says that... Do you have any idea what all of this means?
Okay, so this is the dialogue system here. What are you going on about?
You speak! I mean, of course you speak. What am I, a blathering idiot? Wait, what did you say? Maybe I should be writing all of this down.
I'd like to help you out here, but I'm a bit confused.
I am at a loss here. I don't quite know what to do. I mean, you are the... Oh, of course you are. I mean, you do know who you are, right? Of course you do. What sort of brainless, half-baked question is that for what do you call yourself?
Please, sir, slow down and tell me what it is that you're saying.
Please, forgive me. I'm making a bloody mess of this whole affair. My
I
name
am
is Virgil,
doomed,
sir, and I'm new to the Panari religion. Your religion, and oh, wait! I, hereby dedicate, commit my life to the living one. I, Virgil, am at your service, sir.
I do really like this first character they stick you with. This guy's pretty funny. Virgil, please, you really need to explain things here.
Yes, of course. You see, you're him. I mean, the reincarnation of, what's his name? I can never remember. And I'm always getting him mixed up with the other fellow, the bad one. You, well, you know how all of those old elven names sound the same.
Sounds kind of racist, if you ask me.
Yes, right. Just give me a moment here. You see, the Panari,
Mage
that's
Jesus
the religion that was formed around the things that he said. I mean, that you said. Oh, forget it. Let's start at the beginning. Or this beginning, since there is a lot more that came before this. You are the reincarnation of a powerful elf who the Panari worship, and whose name is,
Yes?
Right. Yes, the name. Wait. I remember something. It is written in the scriptures. The living one will live again on wings of fire. No, wait. I think it says, reborn on wings of fire. Oh, blood and ashes. Why do elves always have to be so damn cryptic?
Absolutely, I had no int stats on that roll. Does scripture speak of a dying gnome in a ring?
I don't know about the ring, but this business about the evil one returning. As I've said, I don't know a whole lot about the Panari prophecies, but I think you were supposed to return and fight someone evil. Bloody hell, I should know more of this.
Really is amazing that someone who doesn't shut the fuck up also doesn't tell us anything useful. If this is confusing to you, imagine how I must feel.
I would like to clear up your confusion, but I am new to the Panari religion myself. I must bring you to meet my mentor, Elder Joachim. He can answer your questions. He is in Shrouded Hills, a town at the base of these mountains.
Well, let's go talk to Elder Joachim and straighten this out.
The path out of here leading down to Shrouded Hills is down to the southeast. We'll stop by the Panari Shrine on the way out. See if it makes any of this any more clear. We should look for any other survivors before we leave, though. What do you think?
Agreed. Alright, so this is us. Whee! Kind of hard to tell apart from this guy. Okay, we have... Alright, there's Virgil. His reaction to us is 61, which places him at courteous. Here's our character screen. We are Solomon Dune. We are ever so slightly leaning into the magic side of things because we have 1 level of shield of protection. Do we have anything else, or is it just that? And we have 1 level of harm. That's cool. That's good. Hoping it was gonna be 69. Hey yo. All right. Here's our notebook. Here's the map. And our inventory. So we got a paper doll over here. We currently have a quality staff, robes, worn boots. We have an old silver ring with the initials GB on it. We have 370 gold. Our total defense is 10. Our total attack is 8. Forget what all these buttons do. We have fate points. I don't remember what they do. Current time, current date, skills. This is where we access our magic from. Why don't I go ahead and put this up? Why don't I go ahead and put this... There we go. I knew you could put this somewhere. There we go. We can activate Prowling, we can activate Pickpocket, we can toggle combat. Fate points can be used to give you a +2 to a roll. Ah, okay. So this was Preston Radcliffe. He has on him a passport and a matchbook from the Roseboro Inn. We're just gonna steal his shit. I don't know why, but we're gonna do it. And then, how do you get out of this? How do you get out? I gotta figure that out. Okay. There's a bunch of items sitting around like wine, which we'll take because it's wine, obviously. Zem is referencing a tabletop game called Fate. Oh, okay. Okay. Here are some more dead people. This is Clarice Vorak. She has nothing to loot. Merwin Tumblebur. Oh, I think all the other dead people are like the characters you could have been. Now, there's a bunch of junk around here, like filaments and steel plates and things. If we're a technologist, we could have used it. Stuff like this Cameron thermometer. I genuinely... Oh, it's inventory. That's right. Muck. There's good old Muck Evil Eye. Nothing good came of him. Horace McGinley. There's a large spring, metal plates. That's, oh god, it's a dog. So combat in this is real time. Hitting space switches it to turn-based. Both of these modes are pretty janky, honestly. So. Oh, he's still alive. That was weird. I rather use the fate points in this game mostly because I forgot about them. They're supposed to be strong stuff like forcing a skill check success. All right, well, it's getting late and there's a bunch of weird wild animals out here, so we should probably be leaving. I forget what this orange bar is. Turn-based is basically classic Fallout combat. There's also plants if you spec into herbalism. You can make stuff out of that. Oh, crap. Clap. Bad doggy. The orange bar is your XP to level bar? Ah, okay. Poor Castleberger. Dead and with nothing left to his name. Your orange bar fills up. One of those little red lights fill up. When all those fill up, you level. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, this orange bar represents like 10% of what you need to level. That's great. That's awesome. Okay. I remember the way out of the valley is down here. Here we go.
The altar should clear things up for us a bit.
Die does he live, Jarborld?
Says, and the spirit of Nazredin shall be reborn on wings of fire in hills shrouded in fog, and fight the last battle with the evil one.
And the evil one, who's that?
I'm sorry, but I don't know. I guess we better find out, considering you're supposed to fight him.
That's probably a good idea, Virgil. Let's go.
Yes, of course.
Hey, look, it's a guy. Hold there. What are you doing up here? Good God, man. I just survived a blazing inferno.
I mean no disrespect, sir, but I don't trust this bastard one bit. Bloody convenient he just
Language,
happened to show
Virgil.
up here just now, don't you think? Oh, excuse my language, sir.
What do you recommend, Virgil?
I've dealt with buggers, individuals like this before. Perhaps you'll let me talk with him for a few minutes.
What's the game that was the opposite of Shadowrun? It was out by the same company. Opposite of Shadowrun. Opposite of Shadowrun. Of course, Virgil. Feel free to do what you think is best.
Thank you,
Daystral.
Take care of this. You there! What exactly are you doing up here? And what gives you the right to ask so many questions?
Virgil's serious voice is so funny. I'm just asking a simple question. What are you two doing up here? I'm from Shrouded Hills, a village not far from here, and I witnessed this terrible accident. Is it such a crime to wonder what exactly is going on? We'll let Virgil do the talking.
Oh, really? Listen, I came from Shrouded Hills myself. It's at least a day's journey from here. There's no way you could have traveled here that fast. I think you're lying, sir.
Oh my. I didn't come from Shrouded Hills just now. I was camping not far from here and saw the blaze. Why are you questioning me? I've done you no harm.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm asking the questions here, and I don't like your answers. I'm going to ask you one more time. Why are you here?
A cold look comes across the man's face. I don't recommend you speak to me that way, friend. I've just asked a question and I'm expecting an answer. We can make this simple or more difficult.
Oh, I think difficult is the best way, sir. I find that there's fewer questions afterwards. I'm ready to begin this discussion whenever you are.
Damn, Virgil. Man seems unsure what to do. You see fear in his eyes. Perhaps this is a discussion we'll have later, friend. I'm sure this issue will be resolved in time. Good day to you, sir.
That was close.
And then he's like, oh my god. What do you mean, Virgil? He was obviously scared of you.
That man very well could have killed us both. Believe me, I've seen his kind before.
So why did you provoke him?
It was all bluster. I'm no bloody warrior. But sometimes you have to be able to act the part. You learn such things it's just something I've learned. Fear is a powerful weapon. Something is very wrong here. I think we'd best get out of here as soon as possible.
Let's go then. Good old Virgil.
Sir,
he'll never lead us astray.
You might wish to consult your map. I believe there might be a quicker way to Shrouded Hills.
Begin world map. So yeah, here is the world map. This is the continent view. This is how big the world itself is. We are over by the Stonewall Range. There's also the Glimmering Forest, the Grey Mountains, the Vendigroth Waste, the Morbahan Plains, and some island called Thanatos. So we want to head to Shrouded Hills. So we click there and then start walking. And then we're there. Amazing.
Elder Joachim is staying at the inn next to the bank.
So now we're in a proper town. Might I ask who you are, sir? I'm Constable Owens, local law and order. May I be of assistance? I have a few questions. What can you tell me of this place? Shrouded Hills, a mountain town through and through. As far as towns go, it's pretty old, but we've got most of what a soul might need. Were all the characters made of chocolate? This game does have kind of an odd aesthetic for the characters. I think it's tastier that way. Actually, yeah. Just listen to Spice on this one. What sort of mining goes on around here? Ore mining, not even much of that anymore. Years ago, the old Bessie Toon silver mine brought quite a bit of business. Vein ran dry, so did most of the local commerce. Where is that mine? Just west of town, bit north. People don't go out there much anymore. Shrouded Hill folk were always a bit superstitious about old Bessie. Why is that? Just who was Bessie Toon? Bessie Toon, she was an old woman, used to live here in town, owned the silver mine. Really strange old lady. Well, folks say she never slept and she'd make shepherd's pie out of shrews. Typical towny talk. Someone said old Zeph Yeat's backside broke out in boils when he sat on her, divan? When the mine started to dry up, I guess she got really batty. Went up there one day, fired all the workers, and walked down into the mines. Word has it she was never seen again. Who owns it now? I'm not sure. Suppose owned by her son, Percival Toon. Where's he live? Lives up by the mine? Alright. Anything else to ask? Sure, businesses are here. Blacksmith, general store, inn with a pub. If you're healing, old Doc Roberts can help you. Alright, cool. First things first, we're going to want to go to the inn. This is a temple. This is a gnome villager. Man for his youngest gnome dressed in a well-made suit. Excuse me, but I couldn't help but notice that you're new here in town. I've heard about the IFS Zephyr. Were you on the blimp when it crashed? Rather not speak of it. I'm rather traumatized by the affair. Please, sir, I must know. Were you on that blimp or not? I have very good reason for wanting to know. I beseech you. You must know. Yes, I was on the blimp. Oh, thank heavens. Then there were survivors. Did the others come here as well? Where are they staying? There were no other survivors. I was the only one. Are you sure? My older brother. He was on the blimp. Gnomish gentleman of some years. Did you happen to see him, sir? I did meet a gnome. What did you say your name was? Name is Radcliffe. William Radcliffe. My brother's name was Preston. Did you know him? Perhaps he's at the crash site even now? Spoke with your brother. He died shortly after. I'm sorry. Not Preston. Thank you, sir. You've been most helpful. Sorry for your loss. Good day to you. Where's the inn? I'm pretty sure he told me where the inn is, but I already forgot. That's a bank. Ah, here's the inn. Let's get in the inn. What an exciting inn this is. Innkeeper. Hi. Greetings, good sir. Can I help you with room for a night, room for a week. Must be going. William Radcliffe was a British inventor and author of the essay Origin of the New System of Manufacture, commonly called power loom weaving. Coincidence? I think not. I also think not.
At the end of the hall on the left.
Ah, Joachim's room is at the end of the hall on the left. Oh my God!
God! What's happened here? These men, I've never seen them before.
There's dead peoples. There's nothing on this one. There's nothing on this one. There is, however, Joachim's note to Virgil.
What is it that you want of me?
I guess we just read it ourselves then. Virgil, I assume you're not alone. As you can see, there are people in Shrouded Hills looking for me. Luckily for me, these fellows were easily dispatched. Do not speak with anyone about the Zeppelin crash or your new companion's involvement with it. When you're able to make your way to Tarrant, check the telegram office there. I will leave a message telling you where to contact me. Joaquin.
Sorry to interrupt, but it seems Joaquin has discovered something. These individuals seem to be part of some larger plot. A plot against you.
And what about the gnome who was looking for the ring?
Yes. That fellow was awfully curious about the blimp crash and the ring. Perhaps just a little too curious. I don't think I believe his story about that fellow being his brother. I think we should heed Elder Joaquin's warning and get out of this place as soon as possible.
Hello, pals. It's late, not Friday anymore, but good to see you. Good to see you too, 2-to-be. How you doing tonight? Tell me, Virgil, who is this Elder Joaquin?
He is, well, someone who helped me out when I needed it. I met him in a small village at a Panari temple. I was, a bit down on my luck. He showed me that you don't always have to take what life gives you, but there's always a better path, and that it's always your choice to travel it.
It's amusing to watch a somber RPG with the face of Rush Sykes on the side. Yeah. What do you mean down on your luck? What happened?
I'd rather not talk about it anymore, but Joaquin is a great man, well-versed in the ways of the Panari, and also in the ways of the world. If he thinks we're in trouble, then we are. Let's get out of here and get to Torment.
Alright, Virgil, perhaps we'll talk more of this later. Virgil is silent, lost in thought. Made it through the week and expect no more or less of myself. You did good. You did good. Let no one tell you otherwise. I got free money. Sometimes all you need to do is just make it through the week to feel like you really accomplished something. Now, if we had the second level of this, or of Necromantic Black, we could actually talk to the spirits of those dead guys and find out who they are, like, straight from them. Let's see, is there anything else interesting going on here? What is this place? This is Jungle's Enchantments. This is Slim Pickets. What is this place? It's a shopkeeper. Oh, this guy sells all kinds of shit. Clothing and equipment and potions. So a big component of this game is the technological crafting. Like, a lot of the stuff you find and buy is like fuel, fertilizer, brewer's yeast. There's a cure for rheumatism, phosphorus tincture, eyeglasses, liquid soap, black powder. The weirdest teapot I've ever seen. Trying to remember what other interesting stuff is here in town. Say anything you like? Who are you? I'm Lloyd Gerlos, local blacksmith. How may I help you today? Ask you a few questions. How's business been lately? Oh, I suppose it's never outstanding here in the Shrouded Hills. We're a small town of simple folk, but to be honest, I've had trouble getting my hands on any good ore for smithing. Hard to bring up anything out of the old Bessie Toon. What type of ore do you need? Well, sir, I'm in dire need of some pure ore. I'll not make a blade without it. If you can find some, I might be obliged to make you a dagger out of whatever was left. Sounds like a trade. I'll do it. Let's see. This is imported goods over here. And you are, good sir? I am Aristides, importer of fine goods and rarities from all over the world. Now, where will you find a more incredible assortment of fantastical oddities from the four corners of Arcanum and beyond? You're looking for something specific, yes? I really just chanced to stop by. No one just chances into Aristides. Aristides always has something for everyone, no? Take a look. Must you always refer to yourself in the third person? Aristides is Aristides, no? Restiz can only be what Restiz is. Restiz, enough. Okay. Interested in trading? This guy is currently selling a shovel, sheet metal, an old flintlock pistol, clock parts, gun chassis, small spring, metal plates, music box, pocket watch parts, revolver parts. Parts is parts is parts is parts is parts. So yeah, this game is a very different experience if you're playing a technologist and you're basically like just rummaging through the garbage all the time looking for components to build stuff out of. Whereas a magic user is going to have a more, I would say, direct course through this game. And this door is locked. Just walk into Restiz. There's a place up here, the herbalist. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, do I have... Here we go. Here's the map. So this town is actually pretty big. There's a... The mine is over here. House. This is where we've been so far. Something down by the water. There's a bridge over this way. Pass out for a while. We sticking with this one for the rest of the night? No. We're just poking around in this for a little bit, and then we're gonna move on to something else. So, this one I am less familiar with, so I'm having a bit of trouble remembering how exactly everything goes in this, like what the real points of interest are. This is okay. It definitely doesn't have the same hook that Planescape Torment does. It's a very ambitious game, and I feel like this has a solid opening, but it's hard to see where it's going. And honestly, like I will tell you from my own experience, I've put several hours into this in the past, and I'm still not 100% sure what this game is all about. Like, even after several hours, I'm not sure I ever really figured out, like, what the main quest was. Yeah, this isn't Planescape. You know what, let me harm this guy. Lord. Steampunk also wasn't as common when this came out, so it stood out on that, as well as the magic versus technology premise. Did you find the boy? No. No. Just don't think you're in a CRPG mood right now? I mean, that's also fair. That's also imminently fair. Dog. Actually, can we just real time this? I think I think Virgil just healed me, I think. So I'm usually preferring JRPGs in general. Petting that dog way too hard. Game looks like it's chugging really bad. This game has never run well, honestly. It's like in technical terms, it really feels like it's running on spit and baling wire. I thought tonight was gonna be JRPG night. I was ready to throw out Der Langrisser. Why would you think that? I posted the 10 games we would be picking from, and there's a couple JRPGs on there. I tell you what, I don't think people are like super absorbed into this right now, so let's move on to something else. Cave. Funny, that means all the bottlenecks are internal to the game, yeah. I think this one, more than a lot of them, you kind of have to be in a particular mood for. Let's see. All right, so that's that. All right, so we've been through 3 games tonight. That's good. We're doing good, I think. JRPG night, no Zelda, really. Feels like it is a very slow burn, yes. I can tell you, they name drop Torment. That's like the first major city you get to in the game. That one is genuinely interesting. There is a lot going on in Tarrant. So much so that it kind of overwhelmed me the first time I played Arcanum. And I spent all my time exploring, and like there's tons of side quests and really interesting stuff there. So the LP of this, I'm just keeping mum to avoid spoilers. I appreciate that. Phantasy Star, yeah. Represents Phantasy Star 1, which ironically we won't even play in the Sega Genesis Classics collection. Very cool story once you get into it. Of that I have no doubt, yeah. As you get in the mid-game, being a wizard, it starts getting pretty good and just gets better and better as the game progresses. You end up having a lot of fun being a crazy wizard. That does sound like fun. Yeah, when I played it, I was always a technologist, so playing as a wizard would actually be pretty interesting. So, anyway, next game. Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it. Ooh. This is probably the indiest option on here. See, Wizards, I tried watching the latest Doctor Strange movie after skipping a couple Marvel movies. I have no idea what the fuck they were talking about. That's my problem now. I have not kept up with any Marvel stuff since like season 1 of Loki, I think. I haven't seen any of the movies or anything. So it's like at this point, I don't want to have to do a bunch of homework to catch back up to all this shit. All right. Amber Throne. I'm probably going to have to display capture this too, but let's just hope for the best. Multiverse was not great on the story front. All right. Amber Throne. I've wanted to play this game for years. Like literally years. I'm going to have to. Also, it's like a game for ants. It's in a tiny, tiny, tiny window. There once was a girl who could not reach the stars. Let me see. I could at least... Alright, I mean, this'll... Hopefully once we get into the game, there's an option to full screen or something. Do you wish one would come down to her instead? I was able to watch the newest Ant-Man and Spider-Man movies. Find this like every 5 minutes, nodding to the audience about something that happened in another movie. Press D to view controls. I don't want to view the controls. I want to. Oh my god. Okay. So this is this is RPG Maker, huh? All right. F4 should be full screen toggle, but the resolution stuff. I'm not worried about the resolution. I just want people to be able to see it. Okay, it's not. It is not F4. Is it Alt Enter? Yes, okay, there we go. All right, great, good. We can do this. This is not the 11th game. No, this is one of the games on the wheel. Star fell from the sky with the power to grant our every wish. All of us rush to claim it. This is the 11th hour? I mean, technically it is 11 p.m. here. Only I succeeded. I hope I'm advancing this dialogue and not skipping it. It's hard to tell. The 11th game is the XP and GP we made along the way. By the 7th guest, the final countdown. Those words will be my last. No, I don't want to skip. Are you insane? Please don't tell me this is a secret fear and hungry. No, as far as I know, this is a very wholesome game. Perhaps when you awaken, you will understand. That's a big ass chain. Why stars must stay out of reach. Audit for not going anywhere near Fear and Hunger. Not on my channel, anyway. I would never stream Fear and Hunger. I might play it someday in my own time, but I'm very curious. Floating castle, I'm in. I cannot stop them, however. They will try to take it again, but you must not let them. Censorship mod for at least the first game censors some of the worst parts and all the wangs and whatnot. Still, the themes of Fear and Hunger would be way too much for this channel. It would not be okay. There's there's a lot more objectionable about Fear and Hunger than just hanging dong. Ah, that's pretty. This is some good art, isn't it? It's a very good art indeed. That looks like a flying whale. When you awaken, you're all not mature enough to handle things like wangs. Not me though, I can handle wangs with no problem. You go to the moon and fight Zeramus. Oh, that's so right. Just stuffed into a steamer trunk? I think we did. I am playing the video game now, chat. Sweet Jesus. Return to the sky and destroy the... This is the thing, chat! Title drop. Destroy the Ember Throne. Okay. Red Desert, you've written an entry in your journal. There's a song called Detachable Penis. Isn't there a song, a group, and an album all named Detachable Penis? Alright. We got items and status and skill and equipment party and journal. That's what I wanted. The world appears different from when I'd left it. The mountains and plains that taunted my imagination as a child seem to have withered into deserts as an adult. Father's castle looms over the world it abandoned, appearing as both a clue and an answer. Destroy the Amber Throne were his last words. Though his ships ascend to his shrouded castle, it seems my awakening is poorly timed. I can't help but wonder if this was out of pride in his legacy or something more. Or is this an anime called Battle Penis sometimes? What do we got? Items. We got a whole lot of nothing. Status. Name is Ada. HP, attack, defense, spy, dex, agi. Do I have skills? I have something called Skybreaker. Attack multiplier 8%, element blunt. Cancels defense up. Equipment, party, journal. Do we have a map? Ooh, look at that. Home Edge, Refuge Pass, Sayre, Red City, Sky Castle. Cool. Okay. This is a very pretty game. Honestly, the thing that first attracted me to it. I got a potion. Delightfully, delightfully pretty game. Big fan of the art and music? Yeah. Yeah, the feel of this game is fantastic. Hi. It's a mess. None of the king's ships have made it through the cloud yet, have they? We'll get there soon. We're far enough ahead of the Sayre as it is. Grid-based movement or pixel? It's grid-based, but you can move diagonally, so it feels very fluid. Hey, who's that? Another foreigner. Oh shit. Combat. We're 2 for 2 on airship crashes, yeah. Attack Red Hound. They are undid. Why, you no foreigners taking me down? I thought that meant he was gonna run away. That would have been really funny. He resists. We have a lot of hit points for the start of the game, if you ask me. Wait, I have something for this, don't I? Skybreaker. Nice. Red Hound shielded turned into Red Hound unshielded. That's cool. Yeah, now we do. Okay, cool. So his defensive skill puts up his shield, and then we can use Skybreaker to knock it away. That little turn order diagram in the top left, it's a really nice consideration, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, that's great and all, but it's kind of a lonely existence if you're just gonna murder everybody who confronts you. And I love that little jingle when you find something. It's so cute. Toot, 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 toot. Toot, 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 toot. It's true, they were the xenophobes. And they have paid for it. Open the skill menu to learn new skills. Really? Ooh. Okay, so I have 50 skill points, so I could buy, like, Crescent. Melee damage to multiple foes, must charge. Does 60% pierce damage and restores 5% health. Overhead slash. Large amount of damage to target and less to user, must charge. Increase chance of enemies targeting the user by 25% for 2 turns. Skills are free in combat, but largely trade-offs. I see. So overhead slash does a lot of damage, but also damages you. A lot of these do less damage than a normal attack, but have some other kind of bonus to them. I've had the urge to play Last Remnant a lot lately, and having Rush staring me at the side really isn't helping. Let's take Crescent. And then there we go. I also want equip. Optimize. Copper gauntlets, red cape. Good shit. It's a really impressive RPG Maker title. It is, isn't it? Really pretty. Like, right away, I like it a lot. Fallen Warrior appearing reptilian. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can take those dudes. Let's take those dudes. Fight. Fight-o. Oh god, I'm gonna die. That was a terrible idea. Escape! It was unable to escape. Yikes. Nice knowing you. You doing dungeon crawl and Dragon Quest 4 for really useful optional item night? Really enjoy that. Nice. Good stuff. Just kind of politely avoid those guys. Well, that was fun. Next game. Those mans did shoot me. It's unkind of them. Hey, there's a small child here. You're at 2. The king surrounding the big castle in the sky so he can take the Amber Throne. We don't trust him or those white-robed ones, though. Bucket of chalk. Kids here aren't afraid of foreigners. King sure is, though. Also, I'm Cheryl. I can make you special powders out of local plants if you'd like. I'm all over. If you need anything, come talk to me. This wall is how all of us got out of the city. I won't say a thing, but the guards will notice you. The king's ordered all foreigners to be slain. Oh, very nice. Can I actually go this way? No, it's a wall. This is an indie, yes. Came out a long time ago, like several years ago. But got good reviews, just really seemed to kind of fly under the radar. Chex Mix has come out with 2 new remixes, Zesty Taco and Pizza, and they're somehow both really good. Nice. We got the other day a big bag of cheddar and caramel popcorn, and I am just devouring it. I love that stuff so much. It's such an incredibly good flavor combination. The Evil King, I think what we need is some sort of dying musician. Y'all are never gonna let this go, are you? It's our new meme game. As much as I like the art style, it does kind of make the walkable surfaces in this game hard to follow. It has some technical issues. If you don't do a manual save once in a while, you can end up with soft lock in a few points. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. I'm going to save. I said I'm going to save. Seem to be the sort of person who'd be like putting a slice of cheddar cheese on apple pie. Possibly. I am very liberal with my cheese usage. I will put cheese on anything. A hardened ring, you say? Optimized, didn't catch that. Filthy liberal chat, he admitted it. Run button. Oh, you're right, there is. Yeah. Actually, yeah, let's save before we do this highly inadvisable thing we're about to do. I like the scribble noise. What's the Westerner doing around here? Saw ships heading towards the Sky Castle, I'll bet. They die in the desert with the rest of the lizards and foreigners. Nobody enters or leaves the city without the King of Sage's orders. King or Sage's orders. Yeah, Death Wish kid? Beat it. Alright, so they ain't fucking around. Tell you're very liberal with your cheddar, considering how often you buy a shit ton of games on Steam for one extra. Put a whole block inside while it bakes. So, The kids did say the wall was how they got in and out of the city, right? So maybe there was a way in that I missed over here. Really miss tasting Dubliner though and Aussie cheddar. I needed this path, okay. My bad. Didn't explore hard enough. One day Princess Evelyn will save all of us. We got to show everyone else. Princess Evelyn is smart, strong, and beautiful, unlike that big dumb king and his seedy sages. Seedy. We're safe up here, even the thieves hide along the wall. Don't come. They're nothing of value to take anyway. Palm of the city, the red soldiers never looked this high. Sorry, long week. Oh, hello. Yeah, I really like this art style a lot. Who are you? Another foreigner. You don't look like you're struggling. What brings you here? The Amber Throne. You don't seem to have an army. You're either naive or mad. Perhaps we can help each other then. I have things that need taken care of. The ships heading for it are coming from the castle. If you want, I can help you get there. You're on your own after that. Stranger joined the party. So now we have Ara and Stranger. Curious. Where are you two going? What girl is strange? She helps us learn about the world. Stranger, obviously the princess. Obviously. Honey wheat bread, delicious. Chekhov's princess. This fortress was built not by us, but by an ancient empire of man. Here they forged blades to strike down corrupt amber gods and their machinations. All the blades were lost but one. They were wisely contained by Axis within his old kingdom, lest thwarting him would have been easier for the rebels. Though not contained enough, it seems. I've always admired him, I suppose. People believe the king and his sages are ignorant, poor rulers, and a poor fit to claim the Ember Throne. There are good rulers in this world, however. A wise one can change everything, just as Axis attempted. Axis is an interesting choice for a good guy name. It's a cool word, don't get me wrong, but, you know. Oh, it's the other side of this. When do we start blasting? Sages are his compatriots, was his Axis and allies. Guy looks like he's the yep, he's the stabby type. First time a fool's stopped by in a long time. When Flute's relaxing this game is serenading me a slumber. Me too, actually. Like, no offense, but I think I'm gonna stop this one in a minute before I just nod off completely. I mean, definitely a major component of that is I am tired. It's been a long week. But yeah, this game is so peaceful. That's definitely not a bad thing, but it makes it a little hard to stream late at night. Beef parry. I like this. I like that you have attacks that change the stances of the enemies. Kind of open him up. Now he's weak. And now he changed it back. There we go. Nice. Boop, 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 boop. Real brave coming down here. Actually, it's the essential path. I kind of have to. I should see. Do you have a skill? No, that's right. You don't. Swing. Poor guy has to keep wasting his turn changing his stance again. I almost feel sorry for him. Except he's an evil bandit. Oh, Jesus! He stabbed us like 4 fucking times. Congratulations, stranger! You have leveled up. Looking for an old 2001 how to draw book showing tutorial, picking it I like, and it gave me my idea for my OC way back when. I don't think it's on the internet. I'll accept to buy it. Received a thief's dagger. Oh, he can't even use that. That must be for Stranger. Oh no, I can't mess with her equipment. Interesting. Silly otters, you can't open that crate a second. Okay, I did make it to the Red City. I have made it this far. Hey, I didn't see you come up from this end. You know, you really shouldn't be here, lady. The king doesn't want foreigners around. Even those big lizards from the south have been sending assassins. Oh, that's cute. Let's go to the castle. I want to see the ships. Hey, 15 minutes to play the rest of these games, so you do montage, you might be able to manage it. No, I think it's gonna come down to these 4. I think that's as far as we get tonight. Not so much for the normal folk these days, just back up for the Red City war efforts. Copy stuffs. Like I said, there was no way to know, there was no way to really predict how many games we'd get through tonight. And I mean, four games is a fair chunk of each in terms of content. Could link the soundtrack after anyone wants it. I think that'd be great. For RPGs in a night is Should we ride on a ship someday? One of those commoners anywhere near the king's castle though? Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. I really like this. This is cool. I don't know if I could stream this because it's honestly, it's so peaceful. It's one of those games where I'm not sure if I'd actually be able to stay awake while I'm playing it. Ah, there we go. Lined up wrong. So yeah, chat, let's review. Let's talk about what y'all thought about tonight. Let me put on some music. Some good thinking music. Will do. Alright, so anyway, go to that. So we played tonight. We played the Amber Throne. We played Arcanum. We played Planescape Torment, and we played Romancing Saga 2. So put the other games on here out of your minds and tell me, what did you think about tonight? For me, Planescape Torment is the most interesting. This is a close second. Interested in the mystery game. Interesting as a story. By the end, I didn't think it quite held up as a game. That's interesting. I've got thoughts! Vote goes to Romancing Salsa 2. I'd like to know what the 11th game is first. The 11th game was better. General thoughts on Amber Throne. Great art, great music, cool unique setting, solid characters to story, gameplay. Holds up well enough considering the length. Yeah, it's not a terribly long game, is it? It being indie. Romancing Saga 2, Amber Throne, Torment, Arcanum. Planescape and Saga 2 for you. About 20 hours. You do want to know what the mystery game is? Think about 20. How should I do this? Can I try to guess the mystery game? I have one guess in mind. All right, go ahead. It's a mystery game, Professor Layton. No, it isn't. No. Fallout 3. No. No. Good guess. Good guess. My guess on the 11th game is still Morrowind. Fury got it. Okay, so congratulations, you figured it out. My plan for Monday was to start Morrowind. So, with that in mind, now that you've seen these 4 other games, would you put any of them ahead of doing Morrowind? Fuck Planescape, let's go switch some memoirs. Tough, isn't it? Planescape Morrowind are close for you? You want to see Morrowind or the Ember Throne? Never played Morrowind, so I don't know. Romancing Salsa 2 is the only one I'd even consider instead. I'd be the only one who voted for Ember. Not necessarily Toast. Arcane seemed really interested in it. Still the SaGa guy, I'd watch at least some Morrowind though. Torment, maybe the story is really good, but Morrowind is full of garbage Bethesda stuff. So we talked a little bit about this before, but I actually have a plan for Morrowind because it's one of those games that can just sprawl endlessly if you allow it to. My plan for Morrowind specifically was to focus mainly on doing the main plots and then have a bunch of Dragon Coin stuff where you could request that we go do other things. So it would ultimately kind of be up to y'all how long Morrowind ends up being. Like instead of just spending days and days and days wandering aimlessly, will you read a book in the game? I would make that a request. I would make read a new book a request. Work on a specific skill, find a cave, find some ruins, find a landmark, go to a new town. All the random side, like once we get to the guilds and stuff, like do a guild mission, do a house mission, that sort of stuff. So all the random side faffing about that makes these games what they are would basically be controlled by y'all, and I would mainly focus on finishing the main quest, because we all know nobody ever finishes the main quest in Elder Scrolls games. So I would be able to offer that as a unique perspective. I have 170,000 Dragon Coins, get fucked, Oddish. So Manic, for you, it's romancing and then Planescape. Funny thing, I found Eos when she was playing Morrowind and reading every book in the game. I will laugh at 2000's PC game design when night falls and the screen is just solid black for the next several minutes. Forget at this point, it's a very large spreadsheet of books. There are a ton of books in Morrowind. Like a ton. Be curious about Morrowind just because you seem to have a complete idea for it rather than just, hey, let's do this. So here's what I'm going to put to you, chat. Here's what I'm going to put to you. My inclination at the end of this evening is to still go with Morrowind. However, if y'all as a unified block feel really, really strongly about doing Planescape over Morrowind, I will accept that. Now keep in mind, this does not rule out or preclude Morrowind or really any of these other games in the future. I definitely want to do Planescape at some point. But right now, my inclination is to do Morrowind. So if y'all are cool with doing Morrowind now, it's honestly pretty likely that we would end up doing Planescape as the next RPG after it. If we're going to take a pass on Morrowind, I go for Romancing. Given the proposition Morrowind is top for you than Planescape than Romancing. I see Planescape not nearly as much as a game influenced me so hard as Morrowind. Morrowind or Planescape? It's Morrowind. Okay. Yeah, I think it's fair. Planescape more like Planes. Suddenly I have an unlocked memory of a mod of Morrowind that changed things to be a perfect recreation of an 80s town concept. What the fuck? That is bizarre. All right, so yeah, if it's acceptable to everyone, if everyone's gonna be cool with it, let's start Morrowind on Monday, and let's tentatively put Planescape aside as the next big RPG we play, unless our predilections change dramatically between now and then. Tonight was the Seinfeld wheel. It was a wheel about nothing. Now, we actually got to see these, and I think that was important. Like, folks, I think the biggest things, folks who had never seen Planescape now at least have a very small inkling of what it is that makes Planescape so enticing. I think that kind of helped, and it also helped put me into the mindset of playing it again. 3 games I was interested to see didn't get picked by the wheel, but so it goes. I mean, this also isn't the last time we're gonna do this either. Like, I imagine. I mean, I would think after we finish Morrowind and we screw around with some games and some other genres and stuff, and we decide to come back to RPGs, I'll probably just pick up right from here. Might add in a few other RPGs that got missed this time, but yeah. Nothing you see on the screen right now is going away for, you know, indefinitely or anything. Wanted to see Shadowrun, the SNES one got my interest. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot too. So yeah, okay. I think the important part is we have a plan. I know I'm not supposed to plan anything, but I mean, if you're gonna launch into something like Morrowind, you do. Oh, actually, I do have a question. You should do a straw poll for race of Bubsy or Audition Morrowind so people without a billion channel points can get a say. On the topic of modding, because Morrowind, like most of the Elder Scrolls games, is a highly moddable game. I was gonna do some basic like fan fixes and like modern resolution. The main thing I have to mod it with UI scaling, because holy shit, it's a UI for ants the way it is just right out of the proverbial box. Is that cool with y'all? Don't you dare. No, I would never. Y'all know me. When I stream a game, I want to stream the authentic experience. So, feel like if something isn't god awful, don't mod it. Yeah. Draw distance mod, but keep the natural fog. I will look into that. That would actually be kind of nice. Bad UI mod it. Oh, but Morrowind has the best bad UI. Thomas the Tank Engine Dragons, no. Okay, so that's gonna be my mission this weekend. I'm gonna get Morrowind in shape. I'm gonna get all those prospective channel point rewards lined up, get all that set up, and yeah, that'll be cool. Here you go, the Kazakhstan town in Morrowind mod. What the shit is this?
Sometimes.
You shut up. What the hell? Oh my god, this is so bizarre. Oh my god, that is so bizarre. That is way beyond the normal bounds of bizarre. It was so bizarre it killed my earbuds. One more mod idea, the mod that gives the assassin the XP. Yes, no. I think that's a good idea too. Okay, I'm actually glad you mentioned that. Yeah, I will probably do that one too. For anyone who doesn't know, Morrowind has 2 expansions, and the first one, the inciting incident for it is an assassin attack that happens while you're asleep. And I guess because they assumed that everybody was gonna add the expansion to their existing game where they were like super high level and super far into it, basically the assassins attack you the first chance they get. So when you roll up a new character, there's a pretty good chance that they'll attack you like at really low level, and it's super annoying and weird because you can't really, like, all the other quests in it are scaled for like much higher levels. So there's a fan mod that changes it so it doesn't happen until like much later in the story when it would, you know, actually make sense to happen. I'll probably do that. Also, because I'll probably want to do everything in sequence. I'll probably want to do like the main storyline, and then do Tribunal, and then do Blood Moon. Oh no, yeah, you can definitely fight and win, but you get like an insane suit of armor. You get like a really, really special suit of armor by killing the assassin, which you have to kill him. There's like no other way to get out of it. So they usually have like, I think I remember them having like glass daggers or something too, which is kind of absurd. So anyway, we'll talk about all this more on Monday, I think. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I have very much been in the mood for an open world RPG. I have been really, really, really wanting to do, like, 2-Hit was close when he guessed Fallout 3. That was one that I considered rather seriously. But Morrowind, it has been much longer since I last played Morrowind. Like, I really don't think I've played Morrowind since college, maybe. Skyrim when? Well, see, that's the other thing. I was talking with Shadows about this the other day. The neat thing about the Elder Scrolls series is I don't actually have a whole lot of experience in it. I've mainly played Morrowind and a bit of Oblivion. So if we go through Morrowind and y'all have a good time with it, if it's actually interesting for y'all, from there we could go either direction. If you like the more polished modern aspects of it, we can go on to Oblivion and Skyrim. I've never played Skyrim ever. And if y'all like the weird old jank of it, we can go the opposite direction into Daggerfall and Arena. Because Morrowind is the Elder Scrolls 3. Falls right in the middle of the series. Yeah, I'm like the last person on Earth who's never played Skyrim. Well, me and Eva. We're the last 2 people on Earth. Everyone else has. Anyone else who says they haven't played it now is but Eva. I know you, Eva. You're good. Skyrim's a good game. It's just a bad Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, I mean, that's still an improvement over Oblivion, which is just a bad game, even through the lens of Elder Scrolls. Been ported a million times. I sure didn't accidentally play it on some device without realizing it. Oh my god, I actually have played Skyrim. That's still funny. Oh man. I played 5 minutes of Skyrim and only that. Played it in your dreams. Anyway, chat, it is quitting time. We have reached the end of the stream. We have accomplished our goal. I had fun tonight. I hope y'all had fun tonight. But I thought this was neat. I thought this was a good way to approach this. If y'all are amenable, I will probably do more of this in the future. Not just with RPGs either, but I may take a similar approach with other genres too. Like if I'm trying to figure out a platformer to play or a strategy game to play or something like that, I might try this again too. You'll play games in the future? Wow. Yeah, big if true. I had fun until I fell in the mind space of digging for a PDF that doesn't exist. Anyway, oh yeah, tomorrow night is Genesis Request Night, since we finished this issue of the Power Hours last night. So yeah, come bearing ideas for Genesis games you want me to play. Pretty much anything that has been modded, anything that's in the workshop for the Steam Genesis collection is, yeah, no, seriously, we actually finished it, so Genesis Night tomorrow night. But yeah, anything that's modded into the workshop for the Steam Genesis collection is fair game. So bring your ideas, prepare to be wowed, prepare to have some good old SaGa fun that Nintendo don't. I don't know. Let's go find somebody to raid. Go visit somebody. Let's go to see, I think. Let's go raid Dama. I feel like it's been a while, and I feel like I haven't gotten them back since they raided me last time. Tonight was mostly good. I'm glad. Mostly good is a pretty solid bar to hit, I think. So. Anyway, chat, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for trying out RPG Roulette with me. I would call this a success. We played 4 really interesting games. All of them were neat. All of them I would consider playing. Not necessarily streaming, but all of them definitely had their interesting points. So, and we will certainly revisit them and definitely revisit the games that we didn't actually get to. via the wheel tonight. So, but all that is a tale for another time. For now, hopefully I will see y'all tomorrow night for Genesis Request Night. But until then, as always, y'all take care. Bye, everybody.